I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on the Spotlight Network, we're diving into You Matter in This Information Universe by Jesuis Laplume. This groundbreaking book reveals that we are not just physical beings, but special information beings connected to the cosmic mind with limitless potential. If you're ready to challenge false teachings and unlock your true destiny, this conversation and this book will change how you see yourself and the universe. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Prime 7 Media for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his powerful book. The links are below this interview. Jesuis, thank you so much for joining me here today on Spotlight.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Great to have you on the show. Tell us what inspired you to write this book.
Well, the biggest thing is that my personal life kind of went to hell a couple of times. And so I started investigating into basically what this universe was really like. I spent half my working life working in the spacecraft, space area. And combining that with a few things that I had learned on the spiritual side, I realized that vast majority of what I had been taught was not right. Um, it was oversimplified because it was easier to teach when it was oversimplified. But that meant that it was so oversimplified, it was not reliable. You couldn't rely on what we were being taught. It was a shock to me, and I decided I could do something by writing a string of books explaining more about the universe and what it really was like. And then finally, after my sixth heart attack, I wrote You Matter in This Information Universe. It was a bit of a shock to me. I had started the book, I think I had not even the table of contents done before the heart attack. And when I got home, I was stuck with the idea of just plain finishing it and getting it out there. So I did.
Well, we're glad you did because I think it's going to help a lot of people on their spiritual journeys. Talk to me a little bit about what it means to be a special information being.
Well, we're in a universe which is totally unlike what traditional science has told us about it. But the universe itself is sentient, aware, and also, thank God, compassionate, loving, and interested in truth, not lies, which is what society is interested in. So I just went ahead and finished writing because it wouldn't let me do anything else except finish it and publish it.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
when
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
the universe is basically telling you what to do, I think it's a good idea to do it.
Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about our connections with the cosmic mind.
Yeah. Of course, when we originally started science and even philosophy, we were focused on the physical things, but it doesn't really take very much work to realize that we have emotions which are not physical, really, and we have intuition. And when we actually accept the fact that there's a possibility that we too are more complex than just the physical, we end up making a series of uh, choices. Just to say that just because society says that we should be fearful doesn't mean that that's true. And if the universe, when people like me study it, convince themselves that in fact the universe actually loves us and they would like us to have abundance, it explains an awful lot of what other spiritual teachers have been saying, that in fact, uh, we don't have to live in fear and lies and lack. We can just simply make the choice to say goodbye to that, to fearfulness, and choose to learn how to love ourselves unconditionally, because that's our connection to the universe. The universe loves us. Why not love the universe back, or that part of the universe?
Absolutely. How do you feel people can shift from fear-based thinking to love-focused thinking and living?
It's kind of difficult, actually, to let go of all of it. I mean, billions are spent every year to try and keep us fearful. But when you realize that there's very little real joy in fearfulness, um, it's possible to just simply say, I've had enough. Uh, of course, if somebody tells you that the universe is about truth, love, and abundance, you can decide, hell, that's better. I'd like that way better than what I've got. So why don't I just learn how to love myself unconditionally? And it's just a choice, you know.
Yeah.
I think every person who's first held a newborn child gets their first glimpse into just how powerful that choice to love this living being is. And then you'd make the step, say, well, wait a minute, if I love the human being, this child, why can't I love myself? Society says I can't, but I don't have to believe society.
Yeah. What do you hope readers take away from this book?
Well, I hope that they realize a couple of things, that a vast majority of what we are taught is not true. Um, the people who taught it might believe it's true, but it's not. And the things that we actually believed before about what reality are being just blown out of the waters with things like the James Webb Telescope and their infrared pictures of the universe back closer to when it began. But life was possible very early on in the universe compared to what traditional science says. So, since scientists are having to give up on the idea that their description of the universe is no longer good enough, we can make the same decision. We can just simply say, heck, I love somebody. Why don't I love me?
Mm.
And once you make that choice to love yourself, uh, you realize it has always been a choice. You could have done it when you were young.
Mm.
Uh, you can do it when you're very old, but you can do it anytime just because it's a choice.
Yeah. And that's the power of being a human being. That's a power of choice and making those decisions to love ourselves as opposed to living in a fear-based thinking pattern like many are trapped in. The name of the book is You Matter in This Information Universe. It's written by Jesuis Laplume. It is a groundbreaking book that reveals that we are not just physical beings, but special information beings connected to the cosmic mind, and that we have limitless potential. Jesuis, thank you so much for joining me here today on Spotlight.
Thank you very much, Logan.
I appreciate your time, your wisdom, your candor, and your insight. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.